limit is 65. Everybody should be going 65.
What I'm saying is roads have like, there's like road rules. Sure. And what I mean is like, left lanes are to go fast. Right lanes are to go, like if you're on a highway, like in the middle of Buckfoot, Texas, you know that the left lane, and there's 2 lanes. The left lane is to go passing. The right lane is to go, you know, at whatever speed you want. But if you're like on I-10, left lane starts to go fucking fast, right lane starts to go fucking slow. And if you're on a left lane going the speed limit, you are the asshole. And I think that's where the miscommunication is. She is like the person that's on the fast lane going slow and in that is sense, the asshole. And you're saying you're the asshole because you want them to go faster. In that sense, sure. In that specific sense, sure. The moment that I'm talking about specifically to yesterday was it wasn't just the left lane. We were late the entire time. So we were driving crazy the entire time. Was there traffic?
But what I'm saying, no, but...
There was traffic.
But I'm not understanding.
To your point. No. There was not like serious traffic. We were just late.
No, so
but
in that sense, about y'all
we
being
chose
late.
to be an asshole. We
Why?
chose to be
But
an asshole because
didn't.
we were late.
But that's, I don't understand. But
because
what does that have
we
to do
were
with
speeding
anything?
through everybody, cutting through wherever we needed to cut through.
But that doesn't make like...
Yeah.
Here's what I'm trying to get to. It's like, that just means that you were going fast. That doesn't change the fact that if there was somebody on the fast lane that was going slow,
here's why.
It's not because like, it's like you should move. It doesn't matter if I'm late or not. Like this is the speed that we go on these lanes. If you're not going at that speed, you need to fucking move. If not, you're the asshole. Regardless of if I'm going slow or not, or if regardless of if I'm late or not, you are the asshole. Move.
Sure.
My thing is, if you are going
is higher because you're already late, but they're still the asshole.
If you are going the
and it doesn't
same
mean that
speed,
in that same moment, like 2 minutes later, you might end up being the asshole because you're trying to cut through everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Like yes,
I was switching between the left lane and the middle lane because of the fact that I was constantly getting stuck behind people that were going the same speed as the people in the middle lane. If you are going the same speed as the people in the middle lane, get in the middle lane.
Yeah.
Be in the middle lane. Like instead of causing more, like let the people in the left lane go faster then.
Yeah.
Get over to the middle lane and don't cause everybody to be stuck at that same speed.
Because then if you're not going fast enough on the left lane, then the middle lane becomes the passing lane. And that can't work.
Sure.
That cannot work.
That's the only reason why I had to move into the middle lane.
Is for passing. Yes, this is the passing lane. There's 100%. I agree. You have to go faster on the left lane to pass people.
Right.
It is not a constant
and people in the middle lane were passing us. So that's why I had to get into the middle lane and then get in front of those other people.
But what I'm saying is that to your point about sometimes having to take the L, if you're in a circumstance where you're already having to rush and you are going to potentially, one, be violating speed limits and be throwing everybody off because you're going to be cutting through everything and trying to get to where you need to go, right? If you're already in that situation, you got to take the L. To your point, you got to just take the L. You're late. There's nothing you can do about it at this point anymore.
Here's what I'm not getting.
At that point, once you're taking that, once you are consciously understanding that you have to take the L, your logic should then flip over. If you are going to stay bumper to bumper to somebody and you're not going to merge somebody else because somebody's being an asshole and you're not going to be nice to them about them potentially having some extenuating circumstance where they might have to cut through and you're going to have that logic, okay, then have that logic. But when you're running through a problem and you have to get through everything and everybody around you has that logic where they're like, we're not going to shift our entire mindset for you right now just because you have to get somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm not asking them to.
And you have to not complain.
I'm not asking them to.
Yeah, well,
I know, but you're complaining the entire time about it.
Hold on. You can complain. It's driving. Like, it's fine. And here's why I think the problem with that logic is that if I'm saying like, no, I'm not gonna fucking let you in because you could have just waited, is that this was a problem that you're creating. There's no other fucking problem. I'm on my lane. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
If I am like switching lanes because people on the left lane are going too fucking slow and I'm having to go to the middle so I can fucking pass them and I'm having to do it multiple times, it's like, you guys, this is a problem that you're creating. If you just move to the fucking middle lane, I wouldn't have to fucking do this. You're making it harder. Like, that's why it's like, it's your fault. taking the L because
it's still extremely selfish
because
it's still extremely selfish because at that point, what you're asking everybody around there to do is to accommodate you.
No, it's to follow the general.
Because the law still states that you have to go the speed limit. If you have to pass somebody,
okay, wait. I will say, can I say, look, there is a big difference.
If you're going on the left lane 80 miles an hour and the cops decide to stop you, you're not gonna be like, but that was the fast lane. They're gonna be like, you were still speeding.
Okay, but no, listen. There is a big difference in my head between our general like the things that we follow compared to. I'm not talking about what's legal and what's not legal.
Yeah,
you're talking about made up rules now. Then
we're talking about
then it just proves my point how it's extremely selfish and self-centered.
No, but there are
still
things.
Rules, and of course the made up rules will always benefit the person that's driving.
It's courtesies. It's the way that you drive, and it's the
because there again like
because I'll tell you, when I get behind the wheel, I'll let people in. I will be nice. Because I might have to take the L. If I'm running late, I'm like, yo, I'm taking this L. Like, I'm going to be late anyway. Somebody might be having a worse day than me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
So if you let other people do that, why don't you do that? Why don't you run forward and cut for? Okay, well then you're an asshole.
If I'm running late and I have to be an asshole, I'm like, yo, I'm going to have to be an asshole today. Yeah. Sometimes I make that choice. I don't do it all the time. It's not my like preferred way of driving, but I might have to.
But it is what it is.
In the off chance,
you also do it in a in the most chill way. Like you're just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and
because I don't think it's that big a deal for me to get physically worked up and affect my mood. I'm like, that's just silly. You're just driving. You're just trying to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, but now you're just trying to regulate people's emotions, and you
no, I'm regulating mine. I'm saying mine specifically.
But if you're saying like that's how I see it, and if like this is like the situation, then like you cannot get frustrated or you cannot do this.
No, you absolutely can, but I still can think it's silly. Like if somebody,
but that's
if I
the same
accidentally
thing.
cut somebody off,
someone's like
and somebody comes up to me and so like, yo, you cut me off, and they'll be like, okay, like, and if they get testy with me, I'm gonna be like, bro, like, okay,
sure,
you know, and if it gets escalated to a certain point, I might retaliate. I've done it before. But I'm still gonna laugh. I'm gonna be like, bro, you really getting mad about a fucking like?
That's fine. But again, that's why I'm also like, then I don't see the problem with the situation because it's not like nothing happened. You know what I mean?
No. Like the only thing I'm arguing about is consistency in mentality. That's all.
But with that being said, no, you want to talk about consistency,
and specifically, it's specific, even more to the point, even to make it even more concise. It doesn't hurt to just be nice sometimes.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
No,
it just doesn't hurt to be nice. It doesn't hurt to be like, I understand that you're doing an asshole move right now, but like, how much is it really gonna affect me? Really?
But I feel like it's like a double-edged sword because usually when I'm in those situations, I'm like, well, you can wait 2 minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
Also.
Like, you know what I mean?
Whether you stick to your guns or you don't stick to your guns, there's nothing wrong with either of those things.
Right.
The only thing I'm saying is, like, it won't affect you if you do, and it won't affect you if you don't. So
I'm choosing
why so gung ho on either or?
Because I love teaching people lessons.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I love it, and that's like the most genuine answer I can give you. It's like, no, dude, just go to the next exit.
Well, and I'm glad that you were like, sometimes you gotta take the L because I assume that sometimes you take the L.
Yeah.
And then sometimes like, yo, well,
I'm not that fucking.
I learned my lesson.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I'm not that committed to it.
But like whenever, like in the,
you know what I mean?
In the scenario where like my dad or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Like I stuck up for my dad. I was all like, yo, we're going to get out of here and we're going to do some shit as a 10-year-old. I'm like, yo, we're going to like do something. All right, you know, let's do it. But then after the fact, after we got in the car, I'm like, that was unnecessary. Like, bro, like, what the fuck? You know, like, that was fucking wild. Like,
yeah,
there's no reason for that to happen. You're fucking, you're like ridiculous. I didn't
let them over.
You know what I mean?
Would be like, okay.
Or you weren't right either. Like, you know what I mean? Like you escalated it to that point also. Yeah. I mean, I'll ride for you. I'm just saying like if you were 100% right,
your mind works in such mysterious ways.
I mean,
like
I'd like to think it's logic based, but I'm not sure that that's always the case.
You're what?
I'd like to think that it's logic based, but I'm not sure that that's always the case. It might be more like pragmatism, but then it also be like cold pragmatism at some point.
No, you just make up the rules as you go. It's like insane. It's like crazy to hear you speak.
I make up the rules?
Like you just, like, I don't know how